Hi and welcome back to another video. Now this one's going to be like an introduction video. I haven't done one yet, so I'm going to do that today. So I'll start off by saying my name's Ian, so people know that. Got a few questions, people asking who I am, you know, but anyway, yeah, so my name's Ian. I've been a truck driver for a good 15 to 20 years. Driving semis for probably about 13 to 15 years. Somewhere around that, probably closer to 15, I suppose. Okay, how I started off, I got my HR license, my open HR, which means I got my crash box license or road ranger. I got told that I wouldn't be able to drive one, so I went out and got that. You know, you get told that you can't do something, so it gives you a bit of motivation to go do it. So I went and got that license, and yeah, I was started off doing furniture removal. That's how I got my license to start with. And then I left there and I started doing Paul's Milk out of Brisbane to Woolworths and Coles. And did that for quite a few years. And then one of my mates, a good mate of mine, he was working for another company within Paul's, and he came and worked for the guy I was working for, and he became his manager, organising loads and all that sort of thing. And he was also a driver as well, and he organised extra loads for that truck out of the Brisbane markets for fruit and veg to Coles. So we double shifted the truck, and it wasn't long after that before he bought his own truck, and I just went and worked for him. And I was working for him for probably about 15 years, I suppose. I did that for close to 15 years, and we grew that company up from one truck to about 13 or 14 prime movers and a swag of drivers and all that sort of thing. We did mainly Coles supermarkets, and then we also did general freight as well with taut liners and flat tops. I used to go down to Sydney and Melbourne and Adelaide. Used to go down there quite regularly, and then COVID sort of hit. It was alright to start with, and then they just put too many rules and regulations on truck drivers as well to, you know, cross the border, and they just made it hard. So I just didn't bother going down there anymore after that. And probably about a few months later after that, I had a few health issues. I got pretty crook, so I left there. I stopped work. I didn't really want to go back truck driving, but yeah, when I was feeling a little bit better, you know, I left there, and now I started where I am now. I've been here for probably a little over a year and a half. So well, at the moment I'm driving a 409 Kenworth SAR. It's got the X15 Cummins in it, 600 horsepower supposedly, but it is an auto shift. I'm not really a fan of the auto shift, but is what it is, you know. Yeah, you gotta sort of take what you get, you know. So he bought the truck second hand anyway, so he didn't order it this way or whatever. It is an ex-Nolan's truck, which I've said before in another video. As you can tell by the colour of the paint job, the paint scheme that's on it. And it's a nice truck, nice inside. It lacks a bit of space for someone who wants to stay in a truck all week and sort of live in the truck. But you make do, you know. It's not like you can't do it, but you know, plenty to sleep in. It's just putting all your stuff, you know, like limited space. And currently now I'm I only go north at the moment, up to Cairns. I usually go up to Cairns every week. So most of the videos will be just from home up to Cairns. If I ever do go back to Brisbane, I'll get some footage down there as well, but I haven't been down there for weeks because of the bit of a contract that we've got to fill up here. Sort of fills in the rest of my week, and I run out of days, so, but that's alright. What else can I say? That's about it, really. I think someone commented too about getting into trouble with your transport or your police. It's a tough one because you get pulled over and they will find something to give you a fine if they want, whatever. People say it all comes down to attitude. Well, I'm nice to them all the time and I still get a fine, so whether it be worse if you're rude to them or whatever, but because they're rude to you. Like, some of them, I'm not saying all of them are, but you do get pulled over sometimes, and you're sort of treated like a criminal as soon as you pull up. Whether they just deal with other people that are rude to them, and so that's how they are to you. Like, I called one, it was a task force bloke, and I said, "How you going, mate?" He goes, "I'm not your mate." Okay, righto. So this is, we're off to a great start here. So, and I ended up getting a fine too that day, I think. But there's just some people that they're just hell bent on giving you fines and whatever. I don't think there's a fine that I haven't had. With your logbook, I use an electronic logbook now. I don't use the paper one. I got a digital logbook that I use. Makes it a bit easier. So you just, when you pull up, you just hit rest, and then you hit start again to take off. It puts in your location, your time. All you got to do is your kilometres. So that works out pretty good. Plus these days, up this way, up this highway here, right up to Cairns, there's a lot of cameras that are going in. Now what the cameras do is when you go past, it'll take a photo of you or a screenshot as you're going past, and it'll get your number plate. So when you get pulled over by transport or task force or whoever pulls you over, they can put your number plate into their system, and they'll go to a day in your logbook, and they'll pick a couple of days out or whatever. They'll put that in their system, and it'll bring up the times that you went through those cameras, and then they'll match it up to your logbook. And if it doesn't match, bang, you get a fine. Well, you don't actually get a fine, they just send you straight to court now. They don't really dish out fines for that anymore. It's just straight to court, so you've got to be careful of that. But mistakes are made. You're only human, but the fines are just ridiculous what they give you. So but I can talk a bit more about that. If I do a live video or something like that, I can talk a bit more on the transport side of things. Would I recommend anyone being a truck driver? At the end of the day, it is a good job. The industry itself is not too bad. It's not like it was years ago. And what I'm saying with that is, you could pull up at a servo or a truck stop or anything like that, and all the truck drivers are standing around talking to each other, might have a few beers, or anything, something along the lines of that, but everyone spoke to each other. You go in and have a feed, and there'd be, other truck drivers in there eating or whatever, and everyone sort of got along and talked to each other, where these days, that just doesn't happen. Unless you know the people, friends with them, if you travel up and down the highway, whatever, it just doesn't happen. It's sort of every man for himself, sort of thing, which is it's a bit crappy how it's sort of gone that way, but it is what it is. But that's like sort of the industry side of it. It's over-regulated, like the whole country is. No matter what it is, it's just over-regulated. So that could be a problem. But you know, if you're looking at wanting to get your truck license and get into the industry, go for it, mate. Like, you know, the industry definitely needs more drivers. Like when I got my license years ago, when I got my B double license, MC, which is your multi combination, which is sort of the highest license you can get with a truck. I was under 30, and it was really hard to get a job. But even though I had one with my mate that I was working with, but besides that, it was really hard to get a job because people wanted experience. I was under 30, so that made it harder again because the insurance for anyone under 30 was really high. And most companies, you know, they didn't need anyone. You had to wait for someone to retire or anything like that before you could get a job, where now it's completely different. If you've got a license, they'll give you a seat, you know. All these companies are screaming for drivers, so it's not that hard to get a job these days per se. Who I recommend, I don't want to go down that road, and you know, it depends on what you want to do and all that. If you want to do local stuff, if you want to run the highway, yeah, like, you know, yeah, do your bit of research. Most people pay pretty much the same across the board, whether it be a kilometre rate or an hourly rate. I couldn't tell you which one's better. They sort of work out pretty much the same. I've been paid both, doing the same sort of stuff, and it's roughly sort of the same anyway, whether you do an hourly rate or kilometre rate. So yeah, it's up to you what you want to do, what you're capable of. If you've got a family, or which I do, I'm married and I've got 3 kids, and I've been a truck driver for that whole time, you know. My kids, that's all they know. My young bloke, he's 20 now, so yeah, I've been pretty much driving the whole time, you know, since he was born. Actually, I think I started driving just after he was born, actually, because I was doing the furniture removal job when he was born. So yeah, so it really depends on you and where you want to go from and what you want to do. But yeah, it is a great job. You get to see the country really and get paid for it. So you know, there's places that I've been to that if I wasn't doing this job, I'd never see it. You know, like I've been up to Mossman a few times, which is north of Cairns, and you go through Port Douglas to get there, and it's just insane. Like even if I took a video of it, it wouldn't do it justice. You know, like everyone should go and see or take a drive up through there. It's really nice. But one day I'll probably get back up there again, and I'll do a video of going through there and whatever. But yeah, well, you had the Ellie Beach. I've been out there before, but it's nice out there. As you see from another video, I did the drone and all that sort of thing. Yeah, so that's pretty much me in a nutshell. I can't really think of anything else to say, whatever. But I've got a heap of questions too that I need to sort of get, you know, answer in a video. But I might do a live video either tonight, which is Monday night, or Tuesday night. I'm not too sure which one would be better. It depends on what time I finish. You know, I don't want to be doing a live video at 9-10 o'clock at night. No one's really watching it, you know. So I've sort of got to do it, you know, around your 6-7 o'clock or something like that. But it doesn't really matter if you miss it, because it'll be still on my channel, and you can re-watch it, and you can post a question there anyway. When I do another one, yeah, I'll get back to you that way. So, but the people that have subscribed so far and liked me videos and watched them all, I appreciate you all. I didn't think that it would be anywhere near as half as popular as what it is. Yeah, I was quite amazed actually. But if you're new to the channel, first time watching it, do hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything or lock in any contract or anything like that. It just helps my channel grow, so I can get more subscribers, and I get extra benefits from that. With I can do lives extra longer and all that sort of thing. But so that's roughly me. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching all the other videos, commenting. I've had heaps of comments and people loving them. So cheers for that. And we will see you on the next one. So bye for now.